So today I'm going to talk about my book Wild Child, which is a collection of short stories and is based on reality fiction for teenagers and young adults, which is a genre I love to write. I do write picture books and for younger kids as well, but I really love writing young adult reality fiction. You're taking what could be true, but in fact it's a fictional story. A lot of these stories are, let's say, they are stories which are about a kid in crisis, a kid on the edge, which is very much reflected in the cover, a child on the edge, and which happens with children. Some do fall off the edge and some manage to take that step back instead. They talk about being an orphan, being a child in a situation of terrorism, which is a theme that I've written about a lot. I work a lot with children in Kashmir as well and children in conflict. The wars that children confront, whether it's a war created by the bigger world outside, geopolitical war, or whether it's a war within the classroom, of bullying, of being just off center and not quite fitting in. Some of the stories are funny. They're not all deadly serious and sort of horribly dark. Some are. Some have a humor. But I think all of them are about kids finding themselves, finding their voice, which to me is extremely important, helping kids find a voice. And I want children to come out of this feeling that could be me, that could have been me, or that's just like what happened in my life. A story here which is called This is Shabir Karam is actually based totally on an actual child. He's a child who I have adopted. He's from Kashmir and he is like my son, and he lost his father to terrorism when he was a very young child, and his plea was, tell my story. You need to tell the story of what I am going through. I need people to know. There's one rule that I follow because it's for younger people, and that is that they must end, no matter how dark, it has to end with hope. I never want to leave my reader feeling it's so dark out there, there's not a glimmer of light, and there's nothing that I can do. I like to empower my characters and my readers, because I think that young people are extremely powerful people, and they can be the instruments of change. And so I would like to give them that torch of hope to say that you can make a difference. I don't think that any subject should be taboo for young people, especially, I mean, look at the world they're living in. They're not, Dr. Abdul Kalam, when he was president of India, he had actually honored some children's writers, including me. I was very fortunate. So he had read my book, which is called No Guns at My Son's Funeral. And he said, but why this? He said, it's a very moving book, but why this book for young people? Why not give them joy and happiness and let them live in fantasy for longer? And I said, I wish they could. I would write those stories. I would love to write them. I do write those stories. But that's not the world that the kids are living in. And so they know of terrorism. They know of violence. If we don't address it for them, they're confused about it. They don't know what to make of it. They feel helpless and burdened by it. And I think that through these stories, you can tell them, you're not helpless. Stand up and do something, because you are powerful to do it, enough to do it.